Here's the mystery of the playing card in the envelope. What we do is we make sure the card goes all the way into the envelope, and we seal it up. Just like so. Perfect. Now, we get these hole punches nice and even using your magic hole punch. It's pretty good. And then before the card decides to move and make things difficult, I'm going to feed this string right through these holes. Just like that. What I do is I have the audience member go ahead and tie those ends of the string together, just to make sure the card can't escape. There we go. And once they've done that, what we do is we take the string and we pull it out. But you'll notice, if I pull the card out of the envelope, there is no holes in that card except the two made by the hole punch. Oh, and that got ripped a little bit. Okay, so here is the secret to this trick. Let me go grab another playing card. I will teach you how to set it up and how to do it. So you start with an envelope that's got the very bottom of it trimmed off. I think I sent you a bunch of envelopes that I've already done this to. But basically you just, very bottom of it, you snip it off, nice and straight across. But that should already be done in the envelopes you have. So now in the bottom of the envelope, over here, you got a hole that goes up there. Okay, now, to set this trick up beforehand, you take a playing card and you stick it in the middle of the envelope. Try to make sure it's going in there nice and straight, so it's not like an angle like that. Try to make sure it's right up and down. And then, right in the middle, do this. And do that. Try to make it nice and even. And this envelope you're just going to get rid of, because that you've already punched holes in. But now you've got a card with 2 holes punched in it, pretty evenly. Now you take another envelope. You've got the ends snipped off of. Now you're ready to do the trick. You also need a piece of string that's maybe like 2 feet long, about, and your single hole punch. So you start the trick off by holding this card just like this, so no one can see those holes. Then you hold the envelope in your hand like this. You're going to kind of squeeze it a little bit so that gap opens up. As you reach over here with your fingers and kind of lift up the top, and you stick this in. Now once this is in low enough that the holes are hidden there, I know I've got lighting behind me so you can see, but normally you're just fine. But you can kind of cover it like this if you want. Once you get it in there, you can be a little more loose with how you hold it. So you get that card over and you maneuver your hand to the top of it. That way you can shove it all the way down in. Now what's really happening is you're shoving it past the bottom, and you're starting to hold on to it with these fingers down here. And as you go and lick the top to close it up, you can kind of adjust your hand there, because you want this actually as far down in your hand as you can get it. When I performed it just now, I didn't quite get it far down enough, and I actually ended up hole punching the top, which you don't want to do. So you want it about this far down. Maybe it's basically half the card and stick it out of your hand like that. It takes a little practice to get that adjustment as you're using this hand to move things around a little bit too, to get this lick. That's how your hand's working together. You don't want to show that. It's how you work on getting that all the way down to the hand. Now, you come over and about the middle of the envelope. You can do a little higher if you want, just to be safe. You hole punch. Now you turn, you don't do that. You go just like that. And you reach your arm up around so they never see the back of your hand. Sorry, the part of your hand that has the card in it. They just see the front of the envelope, like that. Good. You try to get those about even. That wasn't perfect, but it'll work. Now, I say, it's part of a little bit of misdirection here. You say, now before the card decides to move and make things difficult, I'm going to stick this string in here so it can't escape. This is reminding them that that card is being hole punched there, so that it's the reason they can see through those holes is the card has also been hole punched, is what they think is going on. The card's actually lower down and didn't get hole punched, which is why it's going to be able to escape from this string, because the string's not actually passing through the card. Now here's another bit of misdirection. You have them focus on tying those ends together. This is another tricky move you're going to do here. This hand is going to stay covering the card, and this hand is going to come in below it. So there's kind of like a stack going on here of your hands together. This hand that's coming over is going to now reach above this hand a little bit and squeeze the envelope. What this does is it opens up the envelope like that. You need to release the pressure of the envelope being held kind of closed. And once that's held open like that, kind of like the jaws of a fish there. Once it's like that, you can move both of these hands down together at once. And as you do that, this hand's going to want to go up a little bit so it covers those holes. Because what's going to happen is this goes down, this is going to just press against the table and push that card up into the envelope. Now the reason you want your hand up here a little bit is to cover those holes so people don't see that card sliding in. They don't want to see that visual. They're going to be busy tying the card together, the string together. So in real time, here's what this looks like. So go ahead and tie that string together. Your hand comes over here, squeezes. Let's try that again, I messed up. Hand comes over here, even can cover the holes from the beginning if able to. It squeezes a little bit. Sometimes it helps to kind of squeeze and push forward a little bit. That sometimes helps open up, but you'll get the feeling of what does it. Then your hands go down, and then you can release, because once it's there, it's okay that they are going to see that that's the card is visible through those holes, because that's kind of how it would be anyway. The card just moved around a little bit in the envelope. That's fine. And then you're going to pull this through. I'm going to do that bit with the hands one more time. So card is here. Come over, squeeze a little bit as you say. Go ahead and tie those ends together so the card can't escape. Give a little squeeze. Sometimes this is a little tricky, but I find if you squeeze these together, let's get a good angle on this. If your thumb is here, if you squeeze these together and you use your thumb to push the card this way, you're squeezing like that, that'll often open it up. It's about using the hands to work together to get it to open. But you want to do this as smoothly and quietly and calmly as possible. And then the hands go down together and you use the tabletop to push that in. If you get that nice and squeezed open, the reason you do that is you don't want any friction making it hard for the card to go up into the envelope. And you rip this towards this is the kind of the end with the usual opening to the envelope. You rip towards that. You make sure you hold this nice and tight. You're going to rip this little flap down a little bit. You're going to reach in there and start pulling out the card. What you want to make sure you don't let happen is you don't want that card to come out that way. So keep the hand there. You can rip the envelope on this side, pull it out, just like that. And there's the trick.